Hunger is perhaps the feeling that connects humans the most. We have all felt hunger and the emotions that come with it at some point in our lives. The emotions that hunger brings with it are many. For example, some of us might get hungry while others might get sleepy. All in all, going through a day with the feeling of hunger is hard, as the feeling affects your capability to focus on daily tasks. Imagine then that you are a kid going to school. Imagine or perhaps remember how hard it was for you to focus on the classes, especially on those subjects that just weren't for you. And now imagine doing so while being hungry. I can assure you the last thing you will do in the class is learn. Sadly, this exact scenario happens rather frequently to many children in Kenya. According to the organization SOS Children Villages, an organization established in Austria in 1949 with the goal to guarantee that every child has access to a dignified life, around 40% of the children below 15 years in Kenya suffer from malnutrition. This means that about 10 million children in the country have to deal with hunger more often than not during their daily activities. Obviously, learning becomes even more of a challenge for these children, and sadly, facing malnutrition not only affects their grades but also their future. Malnutrition is directly linked to a vast number of health problems and, when taken to extreme, even death. Malnourished children are at risk of not growing properly, leading to student physical and mental development. Thankfully, there are some rebels trying to change this fact. NGESA, an organization based in Kenya formed mainly by teachers, is working tirelessly to help their students to guarantee their food security. And at the moment, they have managed to impact over 100 children in their community, and in this episode, they share with us their story. So welcome one and all to this episode of the Voices of the South. Welcome you all to the Voices of the South. In this episode, we're going to interview the team from NGESA, who is composed of the many members that come with us today, who is Becky Aed, Alfonso Ochain, Okomu, Okomu Aluga, and Susan Aed. Please, if I mispronounce your name, let me know. I will do my best to say it out right. But yeah, welcome you all. I don't know if you want to say a little bit, introduce yourself, or do we just go straight up to the questions?
My name is Becky Achia. I am the founder of NGESA group affiliated to OSIEPA. Thank you.
My name is Susan Awino Aete. I'm in Nairobi. I'm the founder of OSIEPA, working in collaboration with smaller projects in the community. We are affiliated to NGESA. Thank you.
My name is Dennis Aluga. I'm also a member of NGESA, working in collaboration with OSIEPA. Thank you.
I am Alphonse Ochieng, a member of NGESA Foundation, which is affiliated to OSIEPA Foundation.
Okay, thank you all for presenting yourself. This is probably the biggest interview that we are having in the history of the podcast about the Spanish and the English channel. And by biggest, I mean the biggest amount of people participating in the chat. So it's going to be very interesting. Well, I want to start with the early history of the project. A little bit of describing what is the problem that you guys want to face or that you guys are facing, and a little bit of how you are working with it. If any of you wants to take the microphone and let me know what is the problem that you are trying to fix, that would be amazing.
Thank you. The early history of the project and the problem we aim to solve in NGESA is that one, NGESA was born from a very real and urgent need I witnessed firsthand. As climate change continued to affect our community, the pressure on already strained household resources became even more severe. During my work with the Eco Club and Health Club, we discovered a painful truth. Many learners could not afford lunch money, and some, together with their parents, were regularly skipping meals. These were not isolated cases. They were recurring stories shared quietly by learners who wanted to do well in school, but were hampered by hunger and financial hardship. At the same time, their families were struggling to adapt to the changing climate which affected their livelihoods and their ability to provide for basic needs. Seeing this, we knew we needed more than sympathy unto the learners. We needed a solution that addressed both the environmental crisis and the daily struggle of our learners. NGESA emerged as a response to this dual challenge, to empower young youth so that they are able to go about climate smart skills while also helping them secure resources they desperately need, including something as fundamental as food. Imagine a situation where a learner comes to school hungry. They cannot even take lunch at school because they've not paid lunch money. At home, their parents cannot afford to give them some of the meals which they eventually end up skipping. So, who are we? We are a committed team of educators from Ambrose Adongo Adair Secondary School, united by a shared passion of empowering young people and building climate resilient communities. Our core team includes Becky Achieng, Alphonse Achieng, Victor Otieno, Hussein Williams, Joyce Oyo, Dennis Aluga, David Oluoch, Daniel Olo, and our school principal, Mr. James Novi. Although most of us teach in Ambrose Adair Dongo, our team also benefits from the valuable contribution of teachers from neighboring schools who share our vision and bring diverse experiences and strengths. This collaboration has moved us a long way. This collaboration, again, has made our work richer, more innovative, and deeply rooted to the community's needs. So we are saying that together we combine expertise in teaching, mentorship, environmental stewardship, and student welfare. What unites us is a firm belief that when educators come together with a purpose, they can transform not just classrooms, but entire communities. What is the problem that we are trying to solve, and why is it important for us to solve this particular problem? The core problem we are addressing is the rising vulnerability of learners and their families due to climate change and economic hardship. In our school community, many students lack lunch money, and some, along with their parents, regularly skip meals. This daily struggle with hunger affects their concentration in class, their academic performance, and ultimately their future opportunities. At the same time, the impacts of climate change are reducing household incomes, putting pressure on families who depend on farming and on work that arise from the farms. As livelihoods shrink, so do the ability of the parents to support the children, education, and well-being. This problem is urgent because a hungry learner cannot learn, and a community unprepared for climate change cannot thrive. If we do not address these challenges now, we risk losing an entire generation. Allow me to invite Mr. Aluga to proceed with that very urgent question. Thank you.
Before you start, Aluga, I just wanted to ask a little bit more of who are the learners? I don't know if you can describe the students a little bit, the ages, the grades of education, just to paint a picture on the listener on who is the human being that you're working with.
Our learners are aged between 15 to 19. They are in Form 1 to Form 4 in the Kenyan system of education.
Okay, thank you. As I proceed with number one, this problem is urgent because a hungry learner cannot learn and a community unprepared for change cannot thrive. If we do not address these challenges now, we risk losing an entire generation, young people who are bright, capable, and of full potential but held up by circumstances beyond control. Through NGESA, we aim to empower learners and their parents with climate smart skills that generate income, strengthen food security, and build resilience. Solving this problem is not just about supporting students today, it is about securing their future and enabling them to become active contributors to a more sustainable, self-reliant community. Where did the inspiration for creating the initiative come from? The inspiration for this initiative came directly from the voices and life experiences of our learners. Through my close work with Eco Club and Health Club, I began hearing honest, sometimes painful stories. Students quietly admitting that they came to school without a meal or that their parents skipped meals. These were not isolated cases. They reflected a growing struggle within our community. What was the reaction of the partners to you, of the person choose to you when you decided to dedicate yourself full time to your initiative? When we decided to dedicate ourselves fully to this initiative, the reaction of those close to us were mixed, but overwhelmingly positive. A few people were skeptical. They wondered whether such a project truly make a difference, and they questioned whether we had the time and resources to sustain it. Their doubts were understandable, especially given the scale of challenges we wanted to address. However, the larger majority supported us. Our colleagues, friends, and family recognized the urgency of problems affecting our learners and were inspired by our determination to step forward with a solution. Their encouragement strengthened our resolve and helped us see that this work was not only meaningful but necessary. What moved us most was the reaction from the learners themselves. Their excitement, hope, and willingness to participate confirmed that we were on the right path. Their belief in the initiative became the driving force behind our commitment. Today, many of those who doubted us have become some of our strongest supporters. How difficult it was to start the project. Starting the project was both challenging and rewarding. The most difficult part was the initial phase. We needed to align the community expectations, secure resources, and trust. Another challenge was coordinating stakeholders, local leaders, farmers, schools, churches, and partners to make sure everyone understands the project goals. However, once the community began to see early benefits, improved yields, better environment practices, or support system, leaving large money, I feel assistance. The project regained momentum. Overall, the beginning was challenging, but those challenges helped shape the project into something stronger and more sustainable.
Thank you very much for the description and a little bit of the history of the project. It's been very interesting. I'm assuming then that the majority of your students are children in their elementary sector of education, what would be the first learners, for example. You're telling me that many of them has had to skip a meal, and not only them, but in their families in conjunction, which is very sad. And of course, I agree with you. It's impossible for a kid to learn anything if they're hungry, if their stomach is hungry, right? Like whenever you feel a little bit of hunger, you become, a lot of people become quite irritated. In my case, I become even more distracted than usual. So I can totally understand how is it that, well, securing food for the children, especially for those who are going to the school, well, not only those who are going to the school, but all the children anywhere should be a priority, not only of you as NGESA, but of everybody outside in the world. Like we should guarantee that every children has access to a full meal, regardless of their socioeconomic standing or the amount of resources that they have. So thank you very much for sharing a lot of your idea on how you started. Um, you were mentioning it a little bit, especially you, Aluga, you were mentioning that some of your retractors now are your biggest allies. I don't know if you can explore a little bit more on that, share with us some example, like how these relationships change from not liking the project, from maybe straight up saying that the project wasn't going to work, to now being an ally with you and working towards helping your students, your learners, guarantee food security.
Our allies, for example, in the region where I come from, the area chief did not imagine that it's possible for us to go the agriculture way in order to secure lunch money. But I want to report here that one of our members, that is Madam Joyce Oyo, successfully managed to plant vegetables, tomatoes, and onions in school. And the learners that are in NGESA group were given an opportunity to participate in the planting of tomatoes and such like foodstuff, which we took to the kitchen, and part of their school fees was waived as a result of the same. Therefore, that term, they were not sent home that they'd not paid lunch money. So that was a very good move. And when the chief came to school, he witnessed how agriculture was uplifting livelihoods in school. Again, we called parents to school to see that demonstration farm. And they were able to experience, they were able to witness how lunch money can be tied to agriculture and be successfully used to support the learners.
Absolutely. I mean, lunch money is a way to solve it. Another way is to guarantee that the kids have food on the school, like no matter when or how, that the school has enough provisions to make sure that everybody's eating. So I'm happy to hear that you are approaching it from different sides. Yes, please.
Allow me to add something, Carlos. One of the major challenges facing rural schools, basically in Kenya, is this lack of food, lack of lunches. Students are practically very hungry. And when we present to you this, we are not presenting what the current pupils, students are facing. We are presenting what ourselves went through. Most of these teachers you are seeing on this platform, I can guarantee to you 100% that they went through these same things. So they felt that hunger pangs. It is by just a miracle that people like Becky, people like Hussein and Alphonse and Okumu made it through. So when they are tackling this problem, they are tackling something that they know the origin and they know what it causes. Then again, in most schools, the curriculum, agriculture is not even like mainstream like English. So only about the students partaking to this particular subject can practice it. So you find that despite you being able to even do some small agriculture, you are not able to because you are taking another subject. So one of the things that these teachers have been able to practically prove to not only the local chiefs, but even to us bigger organizations that it is possible to have that student who is just not even studying agriculture put in some effort, practice agriculture, which is a little bit something that you can get income through straight away, and break this hunger pangs thing in school. So I really commend them, and I really commend everybody. Thank you. That is what I wanted to bring on.
No, thanks a lot. It is important to remember the reason why you are tackling this problem, this social problem, especially if you suffer it yourself, if you live through it yourself. Having the humanity to not only learn from it, but to try to make sure that nobody else has to go through it. That is impressive. So thank you all for the work you do, and thank you all for the students that you're helping to guarantee their food security. I don't know if any of you can tell me how many students are benefiting from the program at the moment.
Thank you. In this program, we are supporting 140 students in school. We have enjoined about 30 parents who we are also allowing to practice sustainable agriculture so that they also get empowered and get helped eventually.
Okay, 120, 140, sorry. That's a sizable number, especially if your team is about of 5, maybe 7 people. Everybody, you said the names. I didn't count them, but I assume that it's about 5 to 7. If I'm wrong, let me know. But it sounds like a very commendable work, and thank you very much for what you're doing. But we have talked about the organization, a bunch of the starting and how people has been convinced to join the idea, and even now giving some resources to you. I want to ask then a little bit more on these defining moments for the project. For example, if any of you wants to share with me one of the biggest achievements, it doesn't necessarily need to be the continuous production of food or the continuous allocation of lunch money. It could be maybe the first time that you managed to make sure that everybody had food, or maybe a grant that was given to you after you have been applying for money and applying for resources everywhere, as many of the social entrepreneurs and social innovators do around the world. Yeah, I don't know if any of you wants to share what would be the biggest achievement for you. Not necessarily personally, but as a team, as the people that are present here, what would be that?
One of the biggest achievement where we wish to, I take it that you're asking us where we wish to be in terms of NGESA. We wish to be at that point where no child is hungry in class and can therefore participate fully in their studies. One of the greatest achievements we have managed in NGESA so far is to have neighboring schools now start to query what we are doing different, and see that through our tree planting missions, because Carlos, basically in Africa, and hopefully one day you make it to come so that we just don't have these interviews only. In Africa, every home there is cooking through firewood. And when there is no firewood in the home, then there won't be cooking any meal in that particular home. So for right now, NGESA has really planted so many trees, and through these trees is whereby the climate changed because there were not enough trees. So the rain patterns differed. And the rain patterns, when it's different, Africa relies basically on rainwater for us to plant, to be able to have the next rainy season. So one of the major achievements is the trees planted by the NGESA group, which has now, the people have now copied this in various schools, and people are now planting trees. And so then within the next 3 months, there will be enough firewood around the school of Adea Adongo, and also other schools that will have copied. We hope that if this pattern continues, we will have broken even in terms of the trees that were cut, and the reforestation will be restored. I know Alphonse and Becky and the team can also say other achievements, but from our side as their affiliate, we have witnessed this, and in our next budget as OSIEPA, we have targeted a certain amount of money to be able to fund them directly with seedlings for more trees. Thank you.
No, thank you. Anybody else wants to share what would be a good achievement that you feel that you need to share?
Thank you. We want to mention that making it possible for children to be in school daily and stay there without staying at home and therefore losing contact hours with the teachers has been a great achievement for NGESA. So children no longer miss meals at school and at home, at least the ones we are working with, the 140. Our integration with OSIEPA is also strengthening the model. We aligned our strategies with OSIEPA's wider empowerment and environmental framework, and this has increased our visibility, our credibility, and technical support. We are also able to scale across communities, and this has reinforced us, and it has showed that we are not working in isolation, but we are working in partnership with a broader movement. Our external partner, that is our the social backers that we have, their engagement with us has also signaled that this project is actually scalable. And we really value all this going forward. We see that we are aligning well with the global sustainability efforts. Thank you.
No, thank you for sharing. Moving on the interview, and all of these achievements are impressive, by the way, like being able to start a movement in your locality so other schools are copying some of your methodology, some of your ideas, and therefore making their life better, and obviously granting the kids 140 kids food security is something amazing. However, not everything is necessarily an achievement, and not everything is necessarily something good. I would also then like to ask, what would be a challenge that you couldn't overcome? And we ask this not because we want to evidence you, not because we want to make you feel bad, but because maybe from a listener in Africa who wants to start their own project, who wants to become their own social innovator, um, they are facing a challenge. And maybe they can be like, oh, well, if NGESA faced these, not necessarily made it through unscathed, but they learned and they became better. So can I. So if you would be so kind to share one, maybe two challenges that you have been struggling with, that would be great.
Okay, I will say one major struggle is resilience and continuity.
Looks so
Because you are engaging a student
that
who is not having a proper, the students are people's children. You may want to work with one during holidays. This one you are engaging, they have been sent to their grandmother's place. So there's no continuity. Again, another challenge is illiteracy. Some people may not even see the need, or rather, some parents may not see the need. In Africa, we have challenges. I don't know if you ever heard, Carlos, polygamy. Polygamy brings about a lot of competition within the home. People will come like, why are you, if a man with two women and they in the other household, there's not enough, there are not, let me say, 4 children and 3 children. So you want to pick one from this other house and not one from this other house. It brings competition, and now it might even spike fight among the wives of a certain person, such that they have to now even withdraw both the students. So continuity and resilience has been a challenge in terms of, you may have one student today who is very passionate. 3 days he's gone, then you have to now start afresh, and you need to be continuing. So that is one of the challenges we have faced.
Thanks a lot for sharing. Anybody else who wants to participate? Alphonse, you were trying to say something before the microphone gave up on you.
I just wanted to say that there is this other challenge, that the number we are dealing with, we also have so many who are interested. And you see, the bigger the number, the more workforce that is needed and the more concentration that is needed. So because we have started to do something that is good, that is attractive to the masses and very many around, so it's like everybody wants to have that interest to work with us. So maybe we are strategizing so that we see what we can do, so that we can accommodate as many as possible to reduce the number of the vulnerable in the community. Thank you.
Let me add something to that, please. Similarly, with climate smart agriculture, not all farmers are able to embrace the program. We have to do a lot of follow-ups to help the farmers to change from their normal routine, normal imports, so that they embrace the new climate smart measures that we are trying to put in place to enable them get a bumper harvest, or at least to embrace the medicinal trees and fruit trees, which are more resilient to climate change and which also restore the soil fertility.
We hope you're enjoying this episode. As you probably know, the Voices of the South survives thanks to the support of the people around the project. And if you like our work, we ask you to consider supporting us. There are several ways to support the project. The best way you can support us is by subscribing to our Patreon, where you can support us with $1 a month and receive various benefits, such as our exclusive series, The Echoes of the South, where we feature the stories of social innovators from the Global South who are no longer with us, but whose work was fundamental in changing the world. If you can't support us on Patreon but still want to help, the best way to do this is by subscribing to the podcast, giving us a rating, leaving a comment, and most importantly, sharing the episode with someone else. Any of these actions help us reach more people and thus gain more support. Now, let's go back to the interview. All of them are very important challenges. I can understand the social cultural situation with the polygamy and how having different parts of the family sometimes they don't work together as they probably should, because working together is the only way that we can get and develop and be better, as well as the lack of resources and how to guarantee that we have enough resources for a longer time. I wish you luck, but I'm pretty sure that you guys have it together and are going to find the solutions to. Perhaps the resources is the easiest one, as the cultural part. Well, it becomes more complicated. You need a lot of support from everyone to change something, change a culture that perhaps is very integrated in the community. I hope not, but it could happen that somebody is very attached to these traditions that are not necessarily the best. Taking a little bit further into what is happening, and I would like to ask, what is perhaps one or three reasons of why you think the organization is successful? What do you think it is? I mean, at the end of the day, you have spread some of your methodology to more people. Some more people is interacting with it and even copying it, or so to say. But also, you have managed to guarantee food security for 140 students. What do you think is the secret sauce that makes the organization successful?
I'm saying there are a number of factors that have been that have made us to be successful in our work. Is that one, we are a united people with one goal, shared purpose. That whatever comes in, whatever goes out, we have to help this learner. That united purpose and one mind has enabled us to achieve what we have achieved so far. Secondly, being that we are working together in the same institution, together with these learners, we are able to see them, interact with them, get feedback on a daily basis. That feedback helps us to know what we need to do better, what we need to discard, what we need to adapt, and make us work with them on a daily.
Allow me to add to that. NGESA's success comes from a combination of strong engagement, practical climate smart interventions, and a clear focus on empowering vulnerable groups. Our programs are designed with the communities and the people in the community in mind. They are supposed to participate, give input, and take ownership. This creates a lasting impact. Another reason is NGESA's focus on integrated support, addressing the lunch money issue while enjoining it with sustainable agriculture. So that duality allows for us to be able to succeed more on two fronts. Thank you.
Allow me to add something, Carlos. Based on the fact that we work with many other affiliates across Kenya, I can say NGESA's success lies also in the fact that it is the experts. Teachers are a very noble profession. These people you see here are professionals. So that is one of the things that working with their collaboration is easier, because like today when you call them to a meeting, here is Africa. Normally there's no hurry in Africa, but they all respond and they are here for the meeting. So being that we work in NGESA with experts and professionals, that has been one of the greatest blessings and one of our success within this particular project. Thank you, Becky and team.
Sounds quite good. You have identified 3 reasons of why you think the organization is successful, which is night vision and resiliency and help from different sectors, like bringing the community together so you can make a change, of course, alongside professionalism. So I think you have all the ingredients to make it happen. I hope, and I'm pretty sure that your efforts are going to start growing more and more and we reach even more children, hopefully quite soon. However, we here in the Social Backer, in the Voices of the South, we believe that all social innovators are a bit of a rebel, not necessarily because they don't care, but in fact because they care a lot and because they want to change something that, to their point of view, is harming others. So I wanted to ask, what is for you, whoever that decides to answer, or maybe all of you, the reason why you are this rebel streak that you have that has made you want to change what is wrong in the world?
NGESA stands up for what is right. And that is why we monitored something wrong in our midst, the challenge of the lunch money. We want to push boundaries, and we want to ensure that every intervention that we make leaves communities stronger, more resilient, and hopeful. That boldness, combined with empathy and collaboration, is what sets NGESA apart. We empower communities rather than creating dependency. We give the bait for fishing rather than the fish and turn local knowledge into solutions. We don't just talk about sustainability, we make it happen. Even when the resources are limited, NGESA decides to bring change. We want to change the status quo and to better lives. NGESA dares combine short-term support, that is lunch money, and long-term solutions as climate smart agriculture. This is no easy route, and we believe with resilience, with hard work, we are going to see the light of day more and more.
Oh, I wanted to come in and comment on the what you have said, that most of the people in the NGO world may not be working together. It's very different in terms of the communities we work with. We work in the rural setup. It's like there's a fire, Carlos. When there's a fire, everybody comes to fight that particular fire. So wherever, even if somebody comes with soil, someone comes with water, somebody comes with leaves to just beat it up. Everyone is fighting the fire over here. The enemy is poverty. That is how projects work over in these rural setups. The child is hungry, and everybody putting effort to put food on the table joins hands together. That is why you can see clearly, like Osiepa is working with NGESA, and even the Osiepa working with NGESA, we are also having a backdrop of other small organizations. I would really not say there is really a major difference. The rift apart in terms of working together and forming this collaboration. The child is hungry. Whoever has milk in her breast, may that child suckle breast and be full. Thanks.
No, thank you for sharing. Yeah, these are very good reasons to become a rebel and to want to change the status quo and yeah, to make a change. So thank you for sharing. We are approaching to the ending end part of the interview, and as I want to start with the future, I want to know what is the goal for NGESA on the next few months, maybe on the next years. You have already impacted 140 children. Are you expecting to impact more? Are you expecting to increase that number? Or perhaps you are looking forward impacting the more on the families of the 140 children? Yeah, I don't know who of you wants to share a little bit with the future with us.
For the future, the next we have to increase the number of the students so that to reduce the poverty level, to get more elite students in the community. And these elite students may also help us to spread the message to their parents back at home that we have joined so, and this is now we are improving. And when we have the high number of elite students, will enable the community also to be enlightened and join our GESA community. So in the future, we'll be having more number of people, and will also reduce the rate of poverty level. At the same time, will also reduce the climatic condition, which it will now change from now, as now we are experiencing, it is now hot this side. So by future, as we plant more trees, it will increase. Now there will be now rainy season, so which will now help us to plant more crops, plant more trees to curb the food security. Thank you.
Allow me to add something little on what Teacher Aluga has said. In the coming months, our immediate goal is to fully integrate NGESA's programs and support communities in adopting climate smart strategy, and to contribute to initiatives that provide practical support to vulnerable families, like lunch money and school fees assistance. We want to understand local challenges deeply and help deliver measurable impact on the ground. In the longer term, over the next few years, our goal is to grow into leadership roles within NGESA, where we can design and implement larger scale community empowerment programs. We want to help scale climate smart agriculture initiatives, strengthen youth and women's participation, and build sustainable systems that allow communities to thrive independently. Ultimately, our growth is based on the organization's success, helping NGESA reach more communities, achieve sustainable outcomes, and continue being a model for innovation and people-centered development work. I think that way we'll be able to have supported our community in a good way. Thank you.
Sounds ambitious. I'm saying that you want to reach out to more schools, to more children. It's gonna be a lot of work. So good luck, and I hope the resources come to help you as soon as they can. Okay, let's start hearing a little bit of your experience and a little bit of your wisdom to those that come after. And I would like to ask you, what would be a recommendation, perhaps two, maybe three, that you would say to the new social innovators that are starting? What would you recommend? What do they need to be aware of?
You allow me to come in. Our recommendations to the group that would want to come in to solve these challenges that we are facing in Africa, one is we would ask them or recommend to them, let them start small but think big. Start small and think big. Because once you are able to start small and you think big, whatever is happening, it is easy to scale it up. Then also start with patience and empathy. Be able to be patient with the client, with the team you're working with, and then empathize also with the client. Like us now, we are empathizing with our clients, that is our children. We are able to satisfy what they need. Then also would recommend they focus on sustainability. Any project, any program they come up with should be self-sustainable. That because resources are not that adequate, but the little that we have, if it is self-sustaining, then the program can run for well. And also document any impact, however small. And once you document, you're able to pick your lessons through the process, and also you're able to give for anyone who wants to see what you have done. You're able to show the documentation you've had and help them to be what they want to become through their process. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing, amazing advice, amazing recommendations. Keeping a record of what you're doing and how you're doing it is important to know if you're going forward or you're going backward. Also to know if you are using a good methodology, maybe you need to innovate on it. So that's a really good advice. We're moving then to the end of the interview now. I want to start asking, where can people find you? Do you have any social media? Do you have any web page that you want to share with us?
Yes, Carlos. We have a website. We are affiliated to them. They have a website, but not under NGESA. They are still working on the structures as NGESA so that they are able to also be seen, visible out there. But as of now, they can be found within our website for OSIEPA. But we, because to come up with this website, that is funds are needed. So we just have their pictures within our website, and they are working through our structures for now, as they put up their structures to be able to come up as an individual organization. But that does not mean they can't be found anywhere. We have their phone numbers. I hope they have their bank account, and yeah, maybe they can add also where they can be found, apart from being also that the school is, we have the physical address of the school as well.
Thank you. Allow me to add something to that. We can be found on Instagram. We can also be followed on WhatsApp. Aside from our individual numbers, I still serve as a contact person in NGESA. But in due course, we will be able to be independent and be seen as we are supposed to. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So right now you are collaborating to have a website, to have a space where you can see the project. On that same website, you can see all of you, and you can reach out to them in case you want to reach them for any of the people who might be hearing us, and of course the Instagram. Please, after the interview, if somebody can send me the website and the Instagram tag, I would love it, so we can share it when the interview comes out. Um, well, we already answered some of the questions that were following. I would just want to ask if people want to support you, either with economic help or by volunteering, how they can reach out to you. Is it the same through the webpage, or do you have a special email or something like that?
To be able to reach projects if they put through us as OSIEPA, we have very many projects, Carlos, and it may not be easy to separate which is for them. So I would strongly advise them to come up with a way where people can reach out directly, because it will not be easy. Kenya is a big place. It will not be easy saying that this particular one is for NGESA if it is blindly sent. So it is a matter of urgency for Becky and team to come up with how they can be found directly if somebody wanted to do that for them. Maybe Becky, you can give an insight of that one.
The question as to how people can support NGESA is a very important question. So NGESA can be supported on different fronts. One, we can have a situation where people volunteer to participate in community projects, trainings, and mentorship. If anyone is able to come and help us do that, we'd be very grateful. We'd also allow for donations or sponsorships by way of support in specific initiatives such as school fee stroke lunch programs, climate smart demonstration plots, or youth and women empowerment projects. We also allow people to support us in terms of partnerships. They can collaborate with us as institutions, as NGOs, as local businesses, and in this way, we can be really good to go. They can also support us by spreading the word. You can follow our social media, share our stories, and advocate for sustainable agriculture and community empowerment. Every bit of support or help really means a lot to us because it helps us to empower communities, increase resilience to climate change, and provide education opportunities for children. So we are going to work hard as we've been challenged to, so that we become independent and allow for support to reach us directly. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing. And then after the interview, please send me the necessary links. The last part of the interview is an open space for you. Anything that you want to share that hasn't been covered during the interview, or anything that you think is a good idea to present, this is a space open for you all.
Thank you. I would like to emphasize that NGESA is more than a project implementer. It's a movement for sustainable change. Every program, from lunch money support to climate smart agriculture, is designed to leave communities stronger and more resilient. We invite everyone to join us in this mission, whether through volunteering, sharing knowledge, or providing resources. Together, we can empower communities, promote sustainable livelihoods, create a future where everyone has a better life. Your support, ideas, and collaboration are always welcome.
Well, thanks a lot. Thank you all for being here in the interview. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Hussein. Thank you, Opomo. And thank you, Alphonse. Yes.
I have something to also add as we end the interview. We are coming up with, we are working on a grand program as OSIEPA, and we are calling upon all volunteers across the world. We are calling upon anyone who would want to visit Africa and put in some change in terms of finances, in terms of traveling to Africa and not being in the town, not just to see the animals. We allow for a window whereby we could assist you to arrange a safari once you will have volunteered and have come to the village for about a week or so, or whatever days you decide. But we are working on a program whereby people will be able to be making safaris, whereby you come to the village, you come to the rural areas, where you want, do something. In this case, you will be able to come to this particular region where this project is. Take 2 weeks, take a week or 3 days, be with the community, learn to do what we do, help whichever way you can volunteer, then you do your safari and go back home. So we are coming up with that program, Carlos. We'll be able, once it is set up, to send you the link. And we hope that NGESA is one of the movements that people will be visiting in future. So that if somebody wants to come to Africa, you clearly choose that I will be coming, I will be going to this Adongadea Secondary. I will see. And the beauty is we will be planting a tree and we will name you after the tree. A part of you will be living in Africa. So spread the word for us, Carlos, that we are having that program in place. And thank you very much, team. We hope to deliver this to our children. Thank you. And also in Africa, when they come, everybody is a relative. There's nothing like cousin. Everybody is either a brother or a sister. The enemy is poverty.
Yeah, absolutely. I will, once you give me the link and once you have the process established, let me know and I will share it. For my part, that would be all. Thank you very much for coming to the interview. And yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming to the Voice of the South. Thanks for listening. That's the entire episode. And we hope to see you on the next edition of the Voices of the South. Many thanks to our patrons, as this work would be impossible without.